You ever feel like you're putting in all this effort? Like you're reading self-help books, you're visualizing your goals, you're trying to stay positive, and somehow it's like the universe is just not getting the memo. Like you're over here doing everything you can to create a better life, and nothing is really happening. You're stuck in the same place, the same income, the same unfulfilling situations. And after a while, it starts to feel personal, right? Like there's just something about you specifically that the universe doesn't want to cooperate with. And if you've ever felt that way, I get it, because this is one of the most frustrating experiences both high performers and self-development junkies go through. You're out here doing all the right things, at least on paper, and you're not getting the response you want. But what you probably don't realize is that it's not that the universe is ignoring you. The law of attraction does exist, it's just that you're sending out mixed signals and it doesn't know which one to respond to. Let's break this down because it's deeper than most people think. See, on the surface, you probably think you're being really clear with what you want. You've got your vision boards, you've got the pictures of your dream house and dream car, maybe that vacation spot taped to the wall, you've got your journal, you might even have your affirmations ready in the morning. You wake up saying, I'm abundant, I'm successful, I'm ready. And that's great and everything. But what you say out loud is only one layer of the signal that you're broadcasting. The deeper layer, and honestly the more powerful one, is what's happening in your nervous system, in the parts of you that still believe you're not capable or worthy or ready. So when you say, I'm abundant, but you're still obsessing over your credit card balance, or when you say, I'm successful, but secretly you're afraid you'll never measure up, or when you say, I'm ready, but your actions still show that you're hesitant or that you're playing small, guess what? Your brain is firing off a completely different signal. And the universe picks up on that signal every single time. And this isn't just some spiritual fluff. Neuroscience has actually proven that your brain is basically a broadcasting system. Every thought has an electrical signature and every emotion has a chemical one. And together, they generate an electromagnetic field around your body. And it's measurable. The Heart Math Institute has actually shown that your heart's field alone can extend several feet beyond you, beyond your body. Now, your brain's field overlaps with it, and that field is in constant communication with your environment. You're literally broadcasting your dominant thoughts and emotions, whether you know it or not. So when your conscious mind says one thing, but your unconscious feels another, the signal is fragmented. It's like trying to give someone directions while you're mumbling and you're pointing in every direction at once. And most people stay stuck in that confusion loop for years. But here's where it gets even more interesting. And unfortunately, nobody told me about this or explained this to me when I was stuck in the same cycle. Your identity, the story you keep telling yourself, about who you are, is the master signal. It's the foundation that every other thought and feeling sits on top of. Your identity is really just the sum of your most repeated thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's not something you were born with. It's something you've practiced so many times, it feels like just the way you are. Maybe you grew up believing that you had to prove yourself, or that you weren't good enough, or that no matter how hard you tried, you would always be only second best. And over time, those beliefs turned into your default emotional state. They became the lens through which you're looking at life now. They set the thermostat for what you allow yourself to receive. This is why you can set all the goals you want. But if your identity is still locked in scarcity, fear, or unworthiness, the universe will keep reflecting that back to you. And just so you understand, I'm not blaming you. You didn't pick those beliefs on purpose. They were programmed into you. Maybe by family, maybe by culture, maybe by early experiences that hurt you more than you realized. It's not your fault, but it is your problem. Because as long as you're operating from that old identity, you'll keep getting the same results. Your brain literally couldn't even find evidence that's in direct conflict with who you think you are. If you've heard about the Reticular Activating System before, you know it's true. If you didn't, well, shortly it's called RAS, and it's basically your selective focus. It's the filter in your brain that decides what you notice and what you completely ignore. So, for example, if your identity says I'm not successful, your RAS will screen out anything that proves otherwise and look for evidence instead to keep you stuck in the same old story. That's why people feel invisible to the universe, because on a deeper level, they actually feel invisible to themselves. Think about it like this. It's like you're standing in front of one of those old school vending machines. You're pressing the button for the snack you want, let's say B4, because you're sure that that's the one that's going to drop the thing that you want. But what you don't see is that the machine actually has an invisible jam in that row. So no matter how many times you press B4, it keeps spitting out the same stale crackers from A7. And you're standing there confused and frustrated thinking, why isn't this working? I'm pressing the right button. But the problem isn't that you don't want the right thing, it's that you never looked inside the machine to actually see what's blocking the mechanism. You can't just push harder. You have to first clear the jam so the machine can finally give you what you've been asking for. That's what this work is really about. Resetting your internal programming so your thoughts, emotions, and actions all finally align with the outcome you've been asking for. And look, there's real science behind this. Your brain and heart emit signals all day long. Research shows your thoughts have measurable frequencies, and your emotions create electromagnetic fields that shape how you feel and what you notice. This is why two people can walk into the same room and have completely different experiences. One person feels at ease and is expecting things to go well and picks up every little sign of warmth and acceptance. The other walks in already bracing for judgment, their body tense, scanning for reasons to feel out of place, and of course, that's exactly what they find. This is why think positive advice rarely works. You can't just override years of fear and self-doubt with just a few nice thoughts. So what do you do about it? How do you finally get the universe to respond to you clearly? It actually comes down to aligning three things. The first one is your conscious desire, what you say you want. This is your goal, your intention, your chosen direction. The second is your identity, the story you hold true about yourself, what you believe you're worthy of, capable of, and safe to receive. And lastly, your emotional frequency, the feelings you practice daily that either match your desire or repel it. When all three of these line up, the signal you're emitting becomes clear and coherent. This is when life starts to rearrange itself to support you. This is why people who finally shift their identity can create more in 6 months than they did in the previous 6 years. Because now your reticular activating system starts filtering in new evidence that supports the new story you tell about yourself. Your actions stop being half-hearted, and as a result, you stop sending mixed messages. And when you do that, the universe will have no choice but to respond in kind. This is the work I do with my clients. We don't waste time trying to think positive while your old identity is still running the show. We move you into a creative structure where you focus on what you want, we recode the resistance that's been holding you in the same patterns, and we help you step into the identity where the success you want feels normal, predictable, and inevitable. And when that happens, you stop feeling ignored because finally, you're speaking the same language as the reality you want to create. Now, if you're listening to this thinking, that's exactly why I have been stuck, I'm sending mixed signals and I'm ready to finally clean this up, here's what to do next. First, come join my free Skool community. You'll get training, resources, and discussions that go way deeper into how to shift your identity, clear resistance, and build a life you love without trying to force everything through willpower. And second, if you're serious about changing your life and you're sick and tired of feeling like you're doing all the right things, but nothing actually shifts, book a free call with me. We will pinpoint exactly what's been blocking your progress behind the scenes so you can finally break out of the patterns holding you back. Because once you see how your identity and hidden resistance have been driving your fear, anxiety, and procrastination, you can recode them and start taking consistent action towards the goals you've been putting off for years. If you've been stuck in self-development but still don't have the results to show for it, this conversation could be the turning point. Just check the link below to pick a time. See, that's it. That's the real reason you feel like the universe is ignoring you. It's just mirroring back the identity you keep practicing. Change the identity, clean up the signal, and everything else starts to shift. I'm looking forward to getting in touch with you soon. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.